next part of our program where we have a virtual conversation with Ratnakar Adhikari, who will be joining us from Geneva. He's the Executive Director of the Enhanced Trade Facility. And after that, we would unveil the NEFport 50. Yeah, Ratnakar, please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sujeev, for providing this opportunity. Good afternoon and namaste. Greetings from EIF at the World Trade Organization. Thank you, Nepal Economic Forum, and especially Sujeev Shakya for providing this opportunity to address such an important event, and for reconnecting me virtually with my old friend Bibek Debroy, with whom I met first time in December 1994 in Nagarkot, that too in Nepal. And distinguished panelists and audience, I see several who is who in the audience. This afternoon, I would like to focus on Nepal's graduation from the least developed countries status and the centrality of international support measures to help the country achieve sustainable graduation. And the graduation, let me start with graduation itself. It's LDC graduation, which is basically meeting, which actually entails meeting 2 of 3 criteria. These 3 criteria are per capita income, human assets index, which is a composite index of health and education, then economic vulnerability index. For consecutive 2 triennial reviews by the Committee on Development Policy of the United Nations, and this is decided by New York. Nepal is graduating in 2026 thanks to significant improvement in the Human Development Index, or you can call it Human Asset Index, which Bibek also highlighted in his keynote address. But then Bangladesh and Laos are also graduating in 2026. 6 LDCs, least developed countries, have graduated so far, and these are Botswana, Cabo Verde, Maldives, Samoa, Equatorial Guinea, and Vanuatu. And Vanuatu graduated in December 2020. Even during the time of the COVID pandemic, they decided to graduate. And 16 LDCs are in various stages of graduation, with Bhutan, our neighboring country, slated for graduation in 2023. This afternoon, I would like to focus on Nepal's graduation and centrality of various international support measures. And then the first point that I want to make is the significance of international support measures. That would be followed by EIF support, EIF, our own organization support to graduating LDCs, including Nepal. Then the final point that I would like to make, based on my earlier conversation with Sujeev, are the options for graduating LDCs, including Nepal, to attain sustainable graduation. Let me start with the significance of international support measures. The international support measures that are provided to least developed countries are in 3 areas. One is in the area of trade. You must have heard of trade preference that is provided to least developed countries by a number of development partners. Then the second one is the financial and technical assistance, the kind of support that we provide to LDCs, and there are other mechanisms that do provide support to LDCs. Then support for participation in international meetings, and this is, I think, less relevant in the current discussion. The Doha Program of Action, and this is the program of action prepared at the LDC 5 conference for LDCs, makes a call for extension of international support measures to graduating and graduated LDCs to make graduation sustainable and irreversible. The reason for this is that some of the LDCs fear that once they graduated from LDC, they would not be able to access the facilities, international support measures that are provided to LDCs. Hence, their development trajectory will derail. That's their assumption, but that's not entirely correct. The Enhanced Integrated Framework, which is a partnership organization which is housed in the World Trade Organization in Geneva, provides support to LDCs 5 years after graduation. And we are the first institution to decide that we would continue to provide support to graduating LDCs even 5 years after their graduation, in order to ensure predictability of support as well as to incentivize graduation. And this was followed by investment support program for LDCs. They also started providing 5-year support. And UN Technology Bank, which is based in Turkey, when they started out in 2018, they also followed the EIF model of providing support for 5 years after graduation. Whereas European Union also provides the trade preference called Everything But Arms, which is the zero tariff market access for all the LDCs for 3 years after graduation, but there is a provision of extension up to 5 years period. So with this, now I would like to move to the second aspect, which is the kind of support the EIF has been providing to the least developed countries. At the global level, I would like to divide them into global level and regional level on the one hand and national level on the other. So at the global level, a study was conducted by the EIF together with the World Trade Organization in 12 graduating countries, including Nepal, to understand what are the trade implications of graduation. And this study found that Nepal would face an increase of 1% tariff if the current rate of preference utilization is taken into account. And then we also provided support to Nepal and 8 other graduating countries, 7 other graduating countries, to mobilize foreign direct investment, FDI promotion support. And this is a partnership between the World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies and the EIF. Actually, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we initially started out with 8 graduating LDCs, but 12 other LDCs also joined. Then the third program that we are supporting is at the regional level, which is a cross-border paperless trade initiative with UNESCAP based in Bangkok. And this facility is being provided to Nepal together with Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Timor-Leste. But in terms of national level support, what we've done is to provide support to Nepal as a part of our sustainability support program to include preparation of sustainable graduation roadmap for Nepal, and this is being currently being provided. But outside Nepal, we're providing support to countries such as Cambodia, Bhutan, Laos, PDR on the diagnostic trade integration study. This is the kind of a study that actually forms the basis of our intervention at the country level. And these DTISs include a chapter on graduation or graduation as a cross-cutting issue. And the current DTIS going on in Bangladesh also will include graduation in a major way. And then in a Pacific country called Vanuatu, we provided sustainable graduation strategy and support and the integration of custom and postal clearance system in order to promote the e-commerce transaction in Vanuatu after their graduation. Then what are the options for Nepal? LDCs, including Nepal, to achieve sustainable graduation. One is the continued advocacy for trade preference, because there was a request made by LDCs to continue providing trade preferences even after 12 years after the graduation. But then this is a discussion that is going on. But at the same time, countries such as Nepal should join forces with other graduating LDCs to continue advocacy on this. And even if not for 12 years, if Nepal can get sort of a trade preference for lower than 12 years, between 6 and 9 years, that's also going to be a good achievement. But that depends on the ability of the LDCs to negotiate with the members at the WTO. Then the second important aspect is to reduce trade costs, because what happens is that when the preferences go away, you would end up paying higher tariff. But at the same time, there is a possibility of reducing trade costs through the Aid for Trade support, even by putting in place electronic single window at the custom. For example, in Vanuatu, we provided the support to electronic single window at the custom, as a result of which the initial 4 to 6 days taken for obtaining biosecurity certificate has been now reduced to 10 minutes. So this has already resulted in significant reduction in trade costs. And one UNESCAP study has highlighted the fact that Nepal could reduce time for its exports as well as import by 80% if the cross-border paperless trade agreement that has been signed between Asia-Pacific countries is fully implemented. On the other hand, Nepal can make utilization of preferences through various mechanisms. Although Everything But Arms initiative, which provides zero tariff access to the European Union market, will probably go away once the preferences are phased out. But Nepal has a possibility to join what is known as Generalized System of Preference Plus, GSP Plus. For this, Nepal needs to meet certain obligations. Countries such as Sri Lanka and Pakistan are already receiving support through the DSP Plus mechanism, which is not a zero tariff mechanism, but a significantly reduced tariff preference, which can be utilized by a country like Nepal to access the European Union market. Then we have to make full use of regional trading arrangements such as SAFTA. And Nepal can also sign bilateral trade agreements with countries such as Turkey, Japan, Australia, and Canada. These are among the top 10 countries where Nepal exports, but Nepal does not have any formal trade arrangement with them. And there is a possibility of signing bilateral trade agreements with them. Although Nepal has some kind of trading arrangement with India, with the USA, and with other trading partners, but not with these countries. So it will be very, very important to sign bilateral trade agreements with these partners. Then finally, in relation to the finances, given the fact that some of these ODAs, official development assistance, that Nepal has been receiving might not be received at the same terms, and the concessional terms will slightly be diluted once Nepal becomes a graduated country. So therefore, it is important for Nepal to start exploring the possibility of mobilizing other sources of finance, including South-South concessional finance, foreign direct investment, and then blended finance, as well as ESG impact investment. So I'll stop here in the interest of time. And if there's any question, I'll be happy to address them. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Ratnakar.